That's an awesome sight. So guys, the C08 is here. Obviously, the Seawolf Gray C8 My ZR1's in the garage too, but we're gonna ignore this one for this particular upload. The Z06 is looking fantastic. So far has what I would call 3 different mods to it. You saw the video where it was getting PPF put on, so we're obviously completely protected with paint protection film, ceramic coating, window tint, and we also did the lowering with the Paragon collars and of course the ACS composite XL rock guards. As of now, that's it. But we're about to do mod number 4 on this baby. And in case you can't tell, there's a bunch of mods coming. I have boxes everywhere for this freaking car. But today, mod number 4, technically mod number 4 and 5. Let's do it. What's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the vlog. Thanks for pressing play. Like I said there in the beginning, we have mod number 4 and 5 to do to the C8 Z06 today. And we have a bunch of stuff coming. Let's take a look at what we're going to be doing. All right, so you guys already know I'm a big fan of the Seawolf Gray, but check out how awesome that matches. I found a vinyl that matches almost perfectly to the Seawolf Gray, but the one thing that I wasn't necessarily 100% thrilled about when I bought the car was the fact that it is a 2LZ interior, and that means really nothing to me outside of the fact that the steering wheel is not carbon fiber. We're going to fix that today. And we're actually going to fix 2 things I don't like about the interior today. Because the other thing, since this is not carbon fiber, neither are the paddle shifters. And you know how I like me some magnetic paddle shifters. We got something a little different than the last car, but still really freaking cool. Let's look at it. Well, here it is, guys. I went to the dealership near me today and picked it up. I ordered it about 2 weeks ago, about the same time I bought the car, because I knew this was one of the first things I wanted to do. It is, of course, very difficult to find this wheel because there is like 45 different alternatives to coloring, and suede versus leather, and heated versus not, and Z06 versus E-Ray versus ZR1. Just a massive amount of differences. I finally found it after literally about an hour of researching, and it was back ordered, of course. Constraints. You know how GM is. But it came in today, and yeah, it comes with the carbon fiber paddles, but we're going to be switching those out anyway because I got a different kind of magnetic paddle that I think is going to be really awesome. We're going to be able to also switch those paddles out before we even switch out the steering wheel, so it's going to make the install a lot easier to follow. Okay, so not that this was a difficult installation by any means anyway, but it's going to make it a lot easier to show you how to replace these paddles with the wheel out of the car. So the first thing we would do is remove this little access panel here, which you can actually do with just your hand. If you just stick a fingernail in there, get some leverage on it, it literally just pops off. There's just like a couple little clips on the back. You can do it with a fingernail, you can do it with a trim pry tool, it doesn't really matter. But these are the paddle shifters we're going to be using this time around. These are Mad Trace JQ Works paddle shifters. I already opened the box to check them out, but these things, I absolutely love how clicky these are. And I also love this. We might not use it just on the track, but if you can tell, the biggest thing I like about these right off the bat is they're carbon fiber. They are aluminum and magnetically actuated, just like the other ones we used on my last Z06, but they look like OEM carbon fiber. And the weave is super nice on it. So from the front, you're going to see it like that, which looks very, very much so like the stock ones. They're slightly bigger than the stock ones, and only in the way that would say that they're taller, not necessarily longer. So you can see them kind of side by side there. But listen to this. Listen. I loved how clicky the last ones were. These ones are somehow even clickier. And again, the travel, you can kind of see in there, or I'll do it from the side here, you can see how little travel there is. So makes it super, super quick and responsive. Of course, I'll compare them more once I get the paddle shifter out. Now, what we need to do, there's actually only 2 T20 screws right here. Once we remove those, we can then pop the paddle shifter right off. They're not on there super duper tight. Put the screws aside, we will reuse those. With the screws out, you can then go ahead and wiggle the paddle shifter out. And once it's out a little bit, you can see the electrical connection on the other side. We'll just pull the safety tab back, which then will allow us to completely remove it. So that's it. Now you can see the travel of this paddle from the side here. Roughly half an inch maybe. Versus the new one is not even a quarter of an inch. And there they are from the side profile. You can see the new one's a little bit taller, but otherwise about the same size. Clicking sound. So a lot clickier. Again, carbon fiber weave is really nice on both, but these feel more stout. I can tell by just holding them in my hand, this is made of metal, this is plastic. And unlike the paddles I had in my other C8Z06, nothing needs to be swapped over to these. So you could literally buy these and completely take out your stock unit. The plastic cover here doesn't need swapped over like it did on the other unit. So we're pretty much ready to go. Right out of box, pull them out, install them. So installation is pretty much the same as disassembly. We'll take the stock electrical connector here, plug it in, push the safety tab back up, and then just slide it into the same spot you took the other one out of, and that's it. We'll put the screws in and we are ready to go. So same T20 screws. Tighten them down. The last part is we're just going to take this little panel cover piece and pop it into place. Just like that, and it fits like stock. Take a closer look at that. There's no gaps or anything weird. Looks really good. And then even from the front, it's going to look a lot like OEM, just a little bit taller. Feels nice, clicks nice. And of course, we're getting all the goodness of carbon fiber here with a gray stitch, gray center line. It's almost white, but it's more of a gray. It's not quite bright white. It's going to look a lot better in the car, especially since we're going to be doing a lot of carbon fiber in there. But anyway, we're going to install the other one same way. Pop off that access panel, 2 T20 screws, put in the new one, pretty much good to go. Really enjoying these so far though, but I will have a video actually driving with them as well. Just realized after I popped that in that we're going to actually have to leave that off because that's part of the install of the steering wheel. So let's go ahead and get this put in the car, then we'll get these pieces on. But before we do anything else, we have to disconnect the battery because we are going to be removing the airbag, so the battery has to be disconnected for that. So the battery's underneath these pieces of plastic here. We'll pop those up, disconnect the battery, and we are on our way. Once you have the battery disconnected, you're going to wait about 10 to 15 minutes. Come in here. The next step is going to be behind that access panel. There is a 10mm bolt on both sides. We're going to take that out, and that will then allow the airbag to come out, which is really a lot easier than in previous years. Like on the C7, you had to poke something up in the airbag to find a spring blindly. The bolt idea, much better. And we'll remove it on both sides, and then we should be able to gain access to the bolt holding the wheel on to the splined steering shaft. With the 2 screws out, 2 10mm screws, you should be able to just kind of pull the airbag right out. Yeah, and like I said, that is way easier than it has been in the past. So from here, we can just go ahead and disconnect the airbag leads right there, which are 2 little tabs on each side. We just did this on the C7. 2 little tabs you'll lift up on each connector, and then those will pop right off. And then this electrical connector right there looks like it might have to come off, and then we are going to be able to gain access to that probably T50 bolt right there that we can then take the entire wheel off. For those of you who haven't done this before, I used these 2 little pick tools, this one and then the straight one, to lift the little tabs on these airbag connections. That's what allows them to pop off. But what's also underneath there that I didn't see initially, looks like probably for the horn, is another electrical connector. We're going to have to pop the security tab off and then squeeze that out to get the airbag off. So here it is off. Once again, we got the 2 airbag connections, and then I think the horn down here at the bottom actually just clipped right in right there. So we'll transplant that over to the new steering wheel once we get it on, but for now, the next step is to remove that T50 bolt and get this wheel off. The stock wheel, since it is stock, has all this stuff already on it, so I don't have to transplant any of this over. We'll just remove this one, put the new one on, airbag in place, and then not only do we have the carbon fiber 3LZ steering wheel, but we also got some magnetic shift paddles. And just like that, quick work for the impact. And again, it was on there with a lot more torque than you might think. There is a little bit of Loctite on there, so we'll refresh the Loctite when we put the new wheel on, but we should be able just to kind of rock this one back and forth a little bit, doing it one-handed. And again, here for comparison's sake, just seeing what we're missing here. So carbon fiber, a whitish gray center line, same kind of whitish gray stitching, all leather on the 2LZ interior. Both of them do say Z06 down here, but obviously I'm a little bit of a fan of carbon fiber, so yeah. Pretty easy though. When you buy from the dealership, everything's ready to go. It's just unbolt this one, bolt this one on kind of deal. Now, luckily, the 2025s already came with the stitched airbag to kind of go with all of this. But this stuff is relatively easy to do. At least GM set it up in a way that you can easily swap them in and out, because this looks way freaking better on the interior. And this is something you're going to see pretty much every single time you drive. So the better quality steering wheel, and of course, those will make the drive even more fun. So we'll go ahead and reconnect the airbag. We'll go ahead and put what I think is the horn in first. Should just snap right in. And then the airbag connections. Again, just push down, nothing magical here. And then ultimately, the yellow plug here needs to go into the clock spring area. And then the safety tab. And then that's that. So we'll put the two 10mm bolts back in here, pop in the trim pieces, and we're good. All right, we got everything torqued down and put back together. Super easy install here, guys. If you're thinking about doing this yourself, you definitely should. Really not hard at all. And even with the new paddles, all the trim pieces popped in. Again, just all right, let's take a ride. Guys, these paddles are wild. Listen to these. Listen to that. And it's like, it feels instant again. Oh man, I love them. They look freaking stock. Jeez Louise, the tactile feedback of these things is insane. Wow, listen. I'm short shifting too. I'm still kind of trying to baby the car a little bit because she's only got 600 miles on her. So I don't know what else to say. These things are phenomenal. I mean, somehow even clickier, and honestly, they feel like the travel is even shorter than it was with the previous paddles out of my last Z06. And these ones are the exact same carbon fiber weave as the stock one. So I got the 3LZ wheel here with the carbon fiber weave. These paddles seem to match perfectly the carbon fiber paddles that were on here. I am really happy with these. Again, guys, JQ works. I'll link everything down below if you're interested. These are actually a little bit cheaper than the other paddles that we had on the last Z06 as well. So carbon fiber on the outside, but all the internals are aluminum, and it still gives that really tactile response. I really like these a lot. I mean, that just feels way more fitting for a car like this. Yeah, I am giving them a big thumbs up. That's wild to me. Really nice. I don't know. That is really cool. I like that a lot. That steering wheel looks fantastic with the new carbon fiber paddle shifters. Yeah, it is, like I said, it is looking good, guys. Looks great. They sound great. They feel like the car they make the car shift faster. It's all good things. I really like them. Check them out down below.